Okay, we are now recording. If everybody on the call can put your phones on mute, please, because we have this on gallery view, on speaker view. Bridget, you need to go on mute. So we are recording this Tuesday for Wednesday because I'm actually headed out of town. I'm gonna head up to the Adirondacks with my family for a few days. I will be working. But we were able to get a campsite at a campground, and we've lost Tom. I'm getting distracted because we lost Tom.
Yeah. Did you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So we're going to do this management Q&A today virtually, so you'll all see it on the TV tomorrow on 1340. So I'm actually going to have Ronnie start. Ronnie, why don't you tell us what's new in the world of dining?
Hey everybody, Ronnie Licata, dining director. So what I'm focused on right now are two main factors. I've had the sustainability committee and the dining committee. We've had some preliminary conversations about to-go containers from the sustainability committee, and we're going to probably be talking tomorrow about some more details. And from the dining committee, we're going to have some conversations coming out to them. Hopefully this week. We've got the survey back. We've reviewed it. We have some key points, and we're going to share all of that with you guys, and hopefully have an end to the trial and move on with having a permanent, semi-permanent solution for the dining committee going forward, the dining program going forward. And that's it from dining.
Okay, that sounds great. Yes, obviously I was in on that meeting today, and we, got good coverage about talking about the menu options. So I'm looking forward to that. Why don't we go to Bridget next? Bridget, why don't you give us an update on staffing and how we're doing with COVID staffing and all that, and the fact that we're hiring again?
Yes, so we have been very fortunate. We have not had many of our employees test positive for COVID. We have had a couple, which Michelle has kept everyone up to date about. Staffing otherwise is good. There are no major concerns. We have resumed hiring. While we didn't have a freeze, we essentially made a decision proactively to not bring anyone new into the community since the start of COVID. However, we've changed that because there are just needs with attrition, people that we've lost due to relocations and reductions in hours and that kind of thing. So a couple of departments expressed a need and have resumed interviewing and identifying candidates. So we do have a couple of folks who are going through the first care process to have their pre-employment screenings done, and should be coming on board soon. They are required to undergo the same COVID testing twice per week as all of the other employees are now under the governor mandate. So it's just getting those people onboarded and up and running.
That's great. So if we do have people that, maybe a resident that knows someone that is looking for work, how should they go about telling them how to apply?
Any candidate for employment can visit our website, www.wpatnp.org. We have a link to our open job postings on that page, and the user would then be able to view all of the open postings and apply online. We also link directly with HudsonValleyHelpWanted.com. And that's another resource where folks can go look for positions and apply for one of our open jobs.
Bridget. Why don't we go to Tom next?
All right. A couple things. The awning that goes out in back of the back patio, we purchased new awnings this year, and the contractor we got them from wanted to come put them up Tuesday, but due to the current COVID restrictions, that has to wait. So as soon as this region makes it to phase 1, where construction can start again, we will then have the awnings put up. Also, put in the Chanticleer. I got a few people mentioned to me about the tower clock. Like I say, in the Chanticleer, we need a new controller for that. And to do that, I need access to the back of the clock, which is above the drop ceiling in the library. When we do the lighting project in the library, we will get to that and do that. Also, with the other thing I would say is currently with people not using their vehicles, if you're not going anywhere for whatever reason, and your vehicle has been sitting still for a long time, that might not be good for the battery and or the vehicle. So I would suggest, if you haven't gone anywhere, to go outside, run your car for 15, 20 minutes, drive it around the parking lot. If you can't do that, if you call concierge, put a work order in, we'll come meet you and get your keys and do that for you and start your car and drive it around a little bit. Because I wouldn't want your cars to sit there and then not be usable when you do need them. Other than that, we're just keeping up with work orders and getting by.
Okay, thanks, Tom. I think that sounds great. Rob?
Hi, everyone. I'm Robert Dunn, Director of Environmental Services. A couple things I wanted to touch base on is, first of all, I want to thank all of you who have canceled your housekeeping so we can clean the common areas. That's been extremely helpful for the building to help, keep those areas clean. So if we can continue to do that, just reach out to us. Some of you gone to a monthly cleaning, which is great too. So it kind of helps us both out. We can continue to do that. Since the order is extended another month, we'll probably continue to do that. But if you haven't canceled your housekeeping, you can reach out to us and we can, put a cleaning off or two so we can, keep these common areas and door handles clean for you. Another thing I wanted to touch base on is also when the housekeepers are coming for their appointments, we're going to be giving them a memo to give to you. You have to make sure that you're wearing a mask when the housekeeper is at their housekeeping appointment. I've gotten a few reports that some residents have not been. So the housekeeper will hand you the memo when they get there. So you need to have your mask on and you need to also stay 6 feet away while they're doing the cleaning. If you can't comply with this, then we won't be doing the housekeeping appointment for your protection and for the staff's protection. If you have any questions, you can give me a call on that, but it's just really important for you and the staff, to be able to keep that distance and keep you all safe. Other than that, I really don't have anything else other than maybe pest control. I see it's starting to increase a little bit, but please make sure you reach out to concierge with any of your requests right away, whether it's bees on the porch or ants in the apartment or anything like that. Reach out to them first and they put you in the pest control log. So this way, when they come, it'll get addressed when they do come here. And that's it for me.
Great, thanks, Rob. Okay, if nobody else has anything, I think I will take it from here. Let's just fix that view. Okay, so I have a few things on the list here. First and foremost, of course, I want to say thank you to all the residents that continue to be so diligent in their efforts to protect each other from this virus. We have started some random sample testing of residents in the health center following the receipt of a supply of test kits from the county. And we expect those results to be starting to come in soon. So far, anybody that we've tested resident-wise has tested negative. So we'll continue to put those updates out as we get numbers back, results back. As you know, staff testing is continuing. So we have 210 staff members that are required to be tested 2 times per week under the governor's mandate. Those are all folks that work in the health center regularly or could potentially be assigned to the health center. We have to do that twice in every 7-day period. Actually less than 7 days, I guess, 6.5 days. And so that testing is happening. That is a lot of testing. And, we've had to assign one of our staff members basically full-time to track all of the data. It's a lot of paperwork from doctors. It's a lot of different testing sites. It's a lot of coordination, but we're getting it done. So we will continue to report those numbers to you. The first round of testing is all due by the end of the day tomorrow. And as of the last check, we've tested 160, I think, 150 of the 210 that needed to be tested. And we only have 27 results at this point and only one positive, which I communicated out on Saturday when it was confirmed. So that was a one positive staff member, assisted living unit. She was totally asymptomatic. That is the whole intention of this testing by the governor, is to identify the people that are carrying this but are asymptomatic and to try to keep them out of care environment. So the testing is accomplishing what it needs to. In that case, the staff member or any staff member that tests positive at all will be removed from the schedule for 14 days. They will be paid from a special COVID bank of sick time, and they will be able to return to work after the 14-day period, and they have had a negative COVID test. So that's how anyone that tests positive will be treated. And again, we will continue to communicate the numbers as we get them in. The next thing is ticks. So I don't know if you have experienced this or spoken to a loved one and heard this. I know personally in my own life, we're spending a lot of more time outside right now under COVID, and everyone in my family has picked up a tick or two already this season when we've never had one in the last 5 years on my property. There are no doubt that there's ticks on the Woodland Pond property. So we definitely want you outside and, getting that fresh air, but please be checking yourself for ticks. If you don't feel that you can adequately check yourself for ticks, you may need to consider not going outside in places that really could, where you could contract one. So, stay off the grass, just stay on the sidewalks, those kinds of things. You need to be able to check yourself, or have your, if you have two people that live in your home, your other person has to check you. Because we're hearing, there's a lot of ticks around. So just please be careful with that. Rob touched on the masks in the apartments for the cleanings. I just want to reiterate that the proper way to wear the mask is that it's covering your nose and mouth like this. I've been seeing a lot of people wearing them like this. And that doesn't do anything. That just basically makes your nose run onto your mask. So you need to make sure that it's covered completely like this. And that's what's going to help us keep the infection outside of Woodland Pond and keep the residents virus free. We have ordered some additional signage for our entrances. This is in keeping with the messaging that the property is closed to visitors. So we are going to be putting enhanced private property signs up. We already have them. You may not have noticed them. We do have signs that say no trespassers at both entrances, but they're very small. So we worked with Timely Signs to procure some really beautiful signs that just remind folks that the property is private. And then at the front entrance, I think we are going to drop, there's no visitors currently permitted hanging part of the sign, so we can put that up if that ever happens again, take it down when it's not, so that folks know that the campus is closed to visitors right when they drive onto the property. There is some limited marketing activity happening at this point. We do have a number of residents that had closed on apartments, meaning that they paid for an apartment in the winter time, and that they've sold their homes now and need to move into Woodland Pond. So that's an effort that's going to be closely coordinated with the marketing team in a way to reduce exposure to residents at large. Rather than coming through the community spaces or whatever, movers will work as much as they can directly into individual apartments. New residents moving onto the campus do have to be quarantined for 14 days in their apartment, just as if you go to the hospital, same concept. So that's happening very carefully. If you have any questions or concerns about activity that you see or observe, you can, of course, always contact me and ask me if it was approved. But Shannon is being extremely careful, as is Courtney, and they're not doing anything without letting us know exactly what's going on. So you will see some of that happening, meaning that you will have some new neighbors, but you won't see them for at least 14 days after they arrive. Let's see. Okay, so that's that. Talked about marketing activity. I just want to briefly thank all of you that have contributed to the Woodland Cares Employee Assistance Fund. The checks have really been rolling in today, so I think, I know that the Residents Council was hoping to enhance the message about the 75, contributor goal. I will tell you that the staff members that we've been able to help so far are so very appreciative. Bridget's been ushering that process through for us, and we're really trying to find more applicants. I know that there are staff that need help that are either embarrassed to ask, afraid to ask, they don't want to take the resources from another person. But, you have all so generously contributed to this emergency fund, and we're going to really try to shake the leaves on getting people and staff the assistance that they need. So thank you again for that. I think you all saw that the concierge desk is now open till 7 p.m. Each day. And so that'll be good, as it's, people are outside doing things and enjoying outdoor activity. You can, come to the concierge desk until 7 each day. So that's good news. Let's see. I don't think I have anything else. Those were the items that I really wanted to cover. Does anybody else have anything that they wanted to add before we wrap the call?
No?
No,
Okay.
I'm good.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you soon.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.